I accidentally got on the wrong train, and it completely changed my entire life in the most unexpected way. 3 years ago, I was supposed to catch the 6:15 a.m. train from Chicago to Milwaukee for a job interview at a law firm. Big corporate position, six-figure salary, everything I'd worked toward since college. I was running late, stressed, and grabbed what I thought was my train without checking the destination. 2 hours later, I woke up to an announcement. Now arriving in Minneapolis. I had somehow gotten on a train going in the complete opposite direction. I panicked, called the law firm, but they'd already filled the position with someone who actually showed up. That mistake cost me my dream job, my apartment deposit in Milwaukee, and pretty much my entire life plan. I was stuck in Minneapolis with $200 in my wallet and nowhere to go. But that was just the beginning of the craziest year of my life. With no money for a hotel, I wandered around downtown looking for somewhere cheap to stay. I stumbled into this tiny coffee shop where the owner, Maria, was crying because her employee had just quit without notice. Desperate, I lied and said I had barista experience. She hired me on the spot for $12 an hour and let me sleep in the storage room for the first week. I knew nothing about coffee. My first day was a disaster. Burned espresso, wrong orders, spilled everything. But Maria was patient, and slowly I started learning. The customers were quirky locals who became like family. For the first time in years, I actually enjoyed going to work instead of dreading it. One regular customer was this older man named Frank, who came in every Tuesday and Thursday. He'd sit for hours writing in notebooks, and we'd chat about books and life. Turns out Frank was a retired publisher who'd been watching me interact with customers and help struggling writers who came in. What happened next changed everything. Frank mentioned he was looking for someone to help run a small literary magazine he was starting, someone who understood people, could connect with writers, and wasn't afraid of hard work. He offered me the job as managing editor, even though my only experience was English classes and 3 months of coffee making. That magazine, Midwest Voices, became my life. I discovered I had a talent for finding incredible stories from unknown writers. Within a year, we'd publish pieces that got picked up by major publications. Writers started seeking us out specifically. 2 years later, a publishing house in New York noticed our work and offered to buy the magazine. They wanted me to move to New York and run their new emerging writers division. The salary, 3 times what that law firm job would have paid. Last month, I published my first book, a collection of stories about the writers I discovered, including Maria's incredible journey from El Salvador to opening her coffee shop. It hit the bestseller list in its second week. The crazy part? I ran into my old law school roommate last week. He got the job I missed in Milwaukee. He's been miserable for 3 years, working 80-hour weeks at a firm he hates, handling corporate contracts that bore him to tears. Meanwhile, I wake up every day excited about the stories I'll discover and the writers I'll help. I have my own apartment in Brooklyn, a career I'm passionate about, and a life I never could have planned. Sometimes the worst mistake you can make is the best thing that ever happens to you. Getting on the wrong train taught me that detours aren't always disasters. Sometimes they're just better directions you never would have chosen for yourself. That $12 an hour coffee job led to a career I love more than anything I ever imagined possible.